First of all, I'd like to try to connect the idea of changing the minimum wage with the civil rights movement, the March on Washington anniversary. And one thing that, I learned last week was ML King Jr. said, "We're here to cash a check." And those words have really been kind of overshadowed in the "I Have a Dream" part of the theatrical portion of the speech. And so I guess what I want to say is that I was reminded the forces that initiate change were different than the organizational forces that followed in the civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not old enough to remember that, but I'm just, this is kind of the new idea for me. And I think that that's where we are right now, is in an intermediate area. When you mentioned Occupy Wall Street, Occupy lit my fire.
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
Loved Occupy Wall Street. And I think that they
I mean, honestly, if that's all they did, that is more than enough.
That's a success.
And we're spinning to find that organizational force right now.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. I mean, there are many great organizations, but you're right. There isn't really this one, organized effort on a national level on these issues. I mean, to go back on what you were saying on putting the minimum wage together with the March on Washington. I mean, I was watching the 50th anniversary, and I mean, many people seem to forget that the full name of the March on Washington was the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom.
That's right.
And I remember, actually, while I was watching it over the weekend, that one of the Democrats who were there, it might have been Nancy Pelosi, actually, called it the March for Justice and Freedom. And I mean, I don't know if it was done purposefully or just, it was a slip of the tongue, or she didn't even really remember or know. But I mean, there definitely has been an effort to remove that the income inequality aspect from Martin Luther King on all levels. I mean, unfortunately, he was killed just as he was about to get to that. I mean, that was going to be his issue. And he was killed before those speeches can, I guess, really get out there and become what the I Had a Dream speech became.
And I just really quickly to add, Heather, as you probably know, when he was assassinated in Tennessee, he was there to help organize city workers, janitorial workers.
Yes.
And I think really, there's three legacies of Martin Luther King Jr., and those are obviously as a human rights activist in the civil rights era for full equality under the law for all Americans. Then there was as an economic justice organizer, and then as a global human rights and peace activist when he spoke about Vietnam. And we only really talk about one part of his legacy, and obviously there's a fuller radical legacy there, and reclaiming all of that's a big deal. I think you're totally right.
I mean, we talked about it with Professor Eddie Glaude on Thursday, how he said, the I Had a Dream line was just that. It was like the pull-in. It was like, the marketing line.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the meat of what Martin Luther King was talking about.